So good morning guys, it is Sunday and we haven't had an update in a while, just letting you know where we're at. So had a cold all week, so haven't been training all week. Then on Tuesday, it was Tuesday or Thursday night at football, can't even remember now. I joined in the session and wrecked my knee, so that pushed me back even further and my knee got all swollen up. I should never have joined in. I've had 3 operations on this knee, and it's one of the reasons why when I'm coaching as well, I have said, look, I cannot join in. I've, self-talk talking to me, don't be stupid, David. Literally, I think I've joined in for about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and my knee just blew up. And the next day I could hardly walk on it. It was very, very sore. Couldn't bend it because it was so swollen. So stupidity on my part, and it's one of them things where you have to know your body, you have to know your limitations, you have to know if you've got injuries, if you've got weaknesses, past injuries, etc. then you need to be smart. Because otherwise, like me, you've been out for a full week and not been able to do anything. So today, what am I going to do? Today I've got a couple of wee bits and pieces I'm actually going to do in the gym. So I'm going to put on the spotter arms some extra rubber protection so that when it mounts on the rack, it's not metal on metal. There's just one piece on it that I want to improve that on. And then I'm probably just going to do a wee bit of cardio. So it'll probably be a fairly steep incline walking to see how the knee holds up. I'm hoping to get back to training on Monday, but there will be absolutely no squats for a while. I need to look into that and maybe look at watching a bit of knee over toes guy and stuff like that there, maybe getting a wee bit of insight into what I can do to protect my knee and maybe make it stronger and more flexible. Okay, anyway, listen, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get half an hour, maybe an hour on the treadmill, see how the knee holds up, and then I'm going to watch Manchester United in the FA Cup. Pray for me. So, wee bit of treadmill work. Let's see how the knee holds up, because it was clicking like mad. And from what I've read and how it felt, that sort of sounds like it's the tendons inflamed, and then they're basically rubbing across the top of bones and stuff, so you hear that wee sort of click and flick when you're bending your knee. What have I done? Taken a load of anti-inflammatories, got the swelling down. So now we're going to get on the treadmill and let's see how it holds up. So enough talking, let's crack on. Already, what's this, 5 minutes in, I'm feeling like tightness across the sides, down the back of my knee, just as my stride is sort of completing its full length. So as my leg comes behind me and pushes forward, that stretch down the 2 outside parts of my knee and down the back, I'm feeling that. But it's not so much that it would make me stop, and I'm not being stupid. It is maybe only number 2 on the scale of tightness and pain. So if it gets to about 4 or 5, we'll call it. But anyway, let's keep going. Probably because I'm on an incline too, that's going to exaggerate that almost like hyperextension movement, because I'm walking like that, so my leg is having to be, as I step forward, almost hyperextending at the knee joint. Anyway, let's crack on and get it done. So we're 20 minutes in, the knee is starting to tighten up a little bit more. Not massive, but I think maybe 10 more minutes. I'm probably going to push it. You can feel a wee niggle on it. And I have to remember, like I say, I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm on my feet all day and work, so I can't afford for it to be too sore. So yeah, 20 minutes in, starting to tighten up a wee bit. Not so much tighten up, actually, it's the wrong description. But there's a wee niggling pain starting to develop in it. So I'm thinking 5-10 minutes, we'll keep an eye on it. And that just might be enough for today. But do you know what? It is what it is. Not every day you're going to be slaying dragons. You just do what you can do. Bring your best for that day. Anyway, let's keep going and let's see how we go. Alexa, stop. Okay, so that's 30 minutes done on a 6%, I don't know, number 6 incline. Actually got a good wee sweat there, so I feel pretty good. Not surprised, but because the amount of crap I have eaten over Christmas is insane. Chocolate and beer, but it's one of them things. I actually said to the wife, I'm only eating this because I don't want it to go to waste. Another mentality that we were brought up in, wasn't it? Don't leave food on your plate. But look, got that done. I'm probably going to do a couple of wee activations for my groin, just with band stuff, because I understand as well that, look, your knee joint might be where you're feeling it, but there's obviously going to be issues in that sort of chain of movement. So hips, ankles, tight quads, weak glutes. There's so many things, so I need to start doing something, because it can't be the thing that stops me from training just because I'm being lazy and I'm not focusing on the detail. I'm trying to just focus on big muscle groups, and I suppose once you reach a certain level of stiffness, age, old injuries, etc., which I have a lot of, you need to start looking at the small details, because that's what keeps you moving. Anyway, so let's do some activation stuff, and then we're going to go in and get a shower, watch some football. Let's go. Let's do external first. What's tight? So, this one I just squeeze. You've seen this one before. Relax. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. I think these were just the eBay buys. Cheap as you like. Okay, let's go. 2, 1, 3, 1. I'm having to hold the band here. My tracksuit band that side, the band just wants to move about, but I'd rather have to do that than have the hairs pulled off my legs. Come on, Jesse. Here we go. And squeeze. Relax. And squeeze. And relax. I always have issues with weak groins, so I need to keep doing these. I have been not so faithful in getting these done. Let's go. Let's put our knees out this way. See what that feels like. Good. And we're going to pump these now. Here we go. Ooh. feels better. Definitely feels more isolation. Almost. Oh, good. Woo. Yep. Oh, good. Big straight leg. Yep, driving that up. Oh. Oh, yeah, good. Oh, yeah. Don't know if this is going to work, but it is something that I struggled with, which is a step backwards. Yeah, feel that. So I'm just trying to take my legs through lots of different ranges of motion with resistance. Do a assisted squat here, just to see what my range of motion's actually like. Okay, that feels okay. We niggle at the front of my knee there. So I can't quite get parallel without feeling a niggle on the front of my knee. So like I say, I'm not going to be squatting. I'll maybe just do a wee test like that, get down, not unassisted. But what I'll do is I'll do leg extensions, hamstring curls, and lots of them wee different activations and stretches. Let me see. Oh my God, stretch. 2 days ago, I felt like my knee was literally just going to explode when I did this. So that's a lot better. It just feels completely different on this side. I'm really able to pull it up into my stretch here. But on this side, feel it straight across the front of my knee. So I'm not really pulling into it. So I'm going to call that a success. 30 minutes on the treadmill, and then them wee activations. So I'm happy enough. We got moving. Knee feels pretty good. So get in, get something to eat. Get a shower, get something to eat, and then watch Man United. Hopefully not go out of the FA Cup. Anyway, Appreciate you watching, guys. Hopefully you get something out of this. Again, remember, I'm here to encourage you. I'm not here to give you necessarily fitness advice, because that's just not me. I'm just on this journey trying to do the best for me, and I don't mean that in a selfish way. I'm sharing this because I want you to go on your journey, and especially men. I do believe that there's a bit of a crisis, a bit of a mental health crisis amongst men right now, and society's telling us we're shit and we're the problem and we're the issue constantly. Society's telling young men that they're shit and they need to do better. I mean, the most disturbing thing I've heard in my life, and I don't say that statement lightly, I genuinely do mean that, was there was a woman came on one time in UK TV and basically said that every young man out there was a rapist, and we need to teach these young men to be better, because there was issues happening in England, mostly England, regarding gangs of people who were involved in unsolicited approaches to young girls. That's what I'll say. And effectively, every single young man was just being labelled by this woman as someone that was evil and horrible, and we as older men need to teach them better. And I was just livid, because I'm like, 99.9999999% of the population of young men in this country are not that. They're good kids. They're kids who have a future, who 100% society needs, because these young kids are going to become young men, and these young men are the ones that we send out to protect the country when there's war and violence. These young men is what the country's built on, and that's just the truth. They're the, you know, the backs that the country is literally built on. You know, the building trade, you know, so many things. And I just thought it was absolutely disgusting that was like labelling every young man with that, and I just thought that this world has gone insane. And I'm disgusted, and everywhere you turn at the minute, it's just constantly saying that young men are crap. Men in general are crap, because there's a massive movement at the minute, and I would say it's not a feminist movement, because feminine movements for me are, you know, they're a good thing in the sense that, you know, the whole sort of votes for women and equal rights. I get all them things. I genuinely do feel women are equally as important to society as men are. So don't get that coming from my heart, because it's not. I'm married, and my wife is hugely respected and taught to be, my sons are taught to respect my wife within our relationship, and it's a 50-50 partnership. And there's a toxic femininity where it's just men are the root of all evil, and that's the problem with where we're at today. How the heck we've got on from that to this, I don't know. But I just want to say this one thing. Guys, you are valued. You're needed in this world. And don't let anyone tell you that you're the problem, because you're not. Most days we're just getting hammered at the minute. So be encouraged to be an effective part of society, because you can be and you should be. And if in your head you're thinking, I'm not good enough or whatever, that's just lies. Absolute lies. You are a valuable member of society. Get up, get at it, and be part of it. And do not be ashamed to be a man. Anyway, my rambling is done. I don't even know if I'm going to put this in. But look, David from Fit50, peace out.